Hello, everyone. This is Maureen with Union Home Mortgage. I'm going to show you how to register and submit a loan through UHM Go using the new disclosure process. I am working from home, so I apologize for any background noises you might hear. I'm going to try to keep those to a minimum. So when you first start using the disclosure process, and your account executive will assist you with this. The first thing you want to do is go over here to the left-hand toolbar, click on third-party fees, and choose the state that you're doing business in, and you want to load defaults. Okay, so what you're doing is you're loading the default fees that we have in the system for this particular state. You then click Save. That is all we want you to do on this screen at this time. Once the disclosure process is released to all our broker clients and correspondents, and we're out of the pilot phase, you will be able to edit the screen. But at this time, we don't want you to edit the screen. We do want you, though, to load defaults and then click Save for each state that you do business in. And you only need to do that once. By the way, notice I'm using Chrome. It's very important that you use Chrome when using UHM Go, especially with this new disclosure process, because it just does not function as well with other web browsers like Internet Explorer. Okay, then we go over to Manage SSPL. This is where you're going to create your service provider list. And we do recommend you do that here. You create it here so you're not having to do that at the loan level. So notice that I created 3 already. To add a new provider, you just click Add New Provider. You choose from the drop-down, you fill in the fields, and then click Create. For providers that you've already created, you can remove them from the list by clicking the check mark and then clicking Remove. You can also click Edit if you want to edit any of the information, and then click Update. Okay, so we're ready to move on to start the loan. Regarding your 1003, you can either upload an existing Fannie Mae 3.2 file, or you can manually input the information. Of course, the vast majority of you upload, and that's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to choose my file. Now my 1003 was clean. It didn't have anything missing. So you saw it skipped right to initial pricing. I do want to, though, always, everyone should do this, is you go to Declarations tab, you scroll all the way down, and you check your interview date. And you make sure that is today's date. Because what it's doing is pulling in whatever was in the Fannie Mae 3.2 file. So this is important because a few steps from now, I would get stopped for having an interview date over a day old. Okay, so I changed that, and you always make sure that you save. Okay, so now I'm on to initial pricing. You have to put in your estimated credit score, and then choose your lock term and click Get Pricing. And of course, at this step, you're not locking the loan in. What you're doing is you're zeroing in and defining your exact loan scenario. Okay, I come here and I see the rates available to me. Because this particular loan has a 639 credit score, as you see, the LLPAs are quite high. And it won't offer me a rate that is more than 2% below par. So that's why I have one selection here for this particular loan scenario. So I'm choosing that and I'm clicking continue. Okay, and then I'm on the Credit AUS screen. Of course, we have the three selections: DU, which is integrated into our system; LP, which is not integrated. So if you chose LP, you would have to upload your LP findings to us; manual, which should only be chosen for those products that require manual underwriting, like non-QM. So I'm using DU. I would choose my credit agency, and this is a test loan, so I'm using that. I would put in the username and password for that credit agency. Choose whether you're reissuing credit or not. I am reissuing credit, and choose whether it's a joint credit report or not. If you're reissuing credit, you would need to put in the credit report case ID. Again, this is a test loan, so I'm using test credentials. And so I'm going to submit to Desktop Underwriter. And I got approve eligible. And you can also view the credit report by clicking that tab, and there's the credit report. Okay, now we're on to final pricing. So now that I've run it through DU and pulled the credit, as you can see, the credit score is now grayed out in this field and cannot be changed because that was validated to be the credit score on the mid score on the credit report. All right, so I'm going to click Get Pricing again. Now, if that credit score was different, the system would want me to go back. It would tell me to go back and rerun DU again. Okay, so we're going to keep at 5 1/8. I'm going to click Continue. Now we're on to the Register Loan step. I'm going to choose my loan officer and my processor. Of course, that's important because these are the people who get the notifications from UHMCO as to the steps of the process, what's occurring on the loan. And then I'm going to click on Register. This does take a moment because this is the first time it's pushing information into our internal system, which is Encompass. Okay. Now we're on to the Fees SSPL screen. Okay, so this is a very important screen. You want to go through this and edit the fees appropriately. Again, these are the default fees that are in the system. So to edit, you just click on the pencil mark, and then you can either backspace or delete, and then put in the accurate fee. If a fee just doesn't apply at all for the loan, you can't delete this fee, but you can zero it out. So I'm going to put in 0 for that fee. To add a fee to a particular section, you would click the plus mark. You would then choose the title of the fee and put in the amount. Okay. There is no save button on this page. It just automatically saves when I continue here. Okay, then you have to click this disclaimer checkbox. So as you can see, it says, I agree and understand the initial disclosure will be based on above terms and fees, and that any restitution under disclosure is my responsibility. So again, pointing out to you how important it is that you're very diligent about making sure that the fees are accurate on this screen, because this is what feeds over to the loan estimate. And you click Save and Continue. Okay, here's that service provider list that we were talking about earlier. So everything that I had set up is here. So you would choose the ones that apply for this particular loan. So let's say we're choosing that one, and we're going to add it. And notice it came here. And let's say we're going to choose this one as well, and we're going to add it. Now you can add a new provider on the fly here too. If you want to, click Add New Provider. Again, choose new provider type, fill out the information, click Create. Okay, but let's say that's all I need for this loan, so I'm going to click Save and Continue. Now we're on to the price lock screen. This is the screen where if you wish to lock the loan, this is where you're doing it. Of course, you can always submit your disclosures, come back later to UH and go and lock your loan. But this is a necessary step right now because you are acknowledging whether you're going to disclose as a float or disclose as a lock. This wait is a little longer as well, just because it is connecting with Optimal Blue at this point. Okay. And let's say I'm sticking with this rate, so I kind of have to on this loan, but so again, are you registering as a lock or as a float? I'm going to use as a float. Okay. Okay. And as you can see, it says float requested. Then on to the disclosure submission step. There's some questions to answer here. This question I need to answer is yes, because here I'm acknowledging that I did review my appraisal fee. I made sure that all adjustments, decreases fee have been added. So if there's a rush fee, a mileage fee, anything else, that should be included in the appraisal fee. I could add notes to the underwriter here if I wish, and then save and continue. Okay, so now we're ready to launch into the system where we order our disclosure package. Now, if I had locked the loan, this would not be green right away. I would see a message here saying that we're waiting for a lock confirmation, and it would flash intermittently, and I'd have to wait for a minute or two for the lock confirmation to come back to the system. So in this situation, again, I floated it, so this is now green, ready to go. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, now we are in the disclosure system. This can seem a little intimidating at first, but rest assured that our current broker, pilot brokers, have used it, and after a couple loans, they're very adept at it, and it's not a problem. We are working on making it more user-friendly, but I think you will adapt to this pretty quickly. So first, actually, let's go back. Let's say I click on Order Documents here. Notice I get this message. There are audit items that need to be resolved. Okay, so I click on Audits. I see there's a legend here, and I see a red X is important, and that requires resolution before ordering. So I click here as well, and I come down and I see I have 3 red X's. Okay, so these are all disclosures that I need to input information for. If I click the details plus sign here, it gives me some direction of what I need to do. As you see, it says navigate to the additional fields, click find specific, and then complete the Patriot Act form of identification. So you come up here, you click additional fields, find specific, and here those 3 disclosures are. So I go in here and input the required information. First, I am just inputting anything for the purpose of this demo, but you would be putting in relevant information. You then click here. This is particular to Illinois, so I'm doing Illinois loan, so that's why this is coming up. And Patriot Act form. This is where you input the information regarding their ID. And as you can see, it could be a state-issued driver's license, a state-issued ID card, military ID card, passport, U.S. alien registration card, a Canadian driver's license. There's also a section for each bar if you have more than one bar. So let's say I have the state-issued driver's license, so I'm checking that box, inputting the state, driver's license number, the issue date, and the expiration. Make sure you do not put an expiration date in the past, because if you do, you will not be able to clear this audit, and you'll not know why, because it doesn't specifically tell you why. It just won't let you clear the audit. So just be real careful that the expiration date is in the future. Okay, so after you fill all that out, you're going to click Save. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to the audit order section. Okay, so you might think, all right, I'm ready to order docs. So you click there and you see, oh, there are audit items that must be resolved before ordering. And you think, well, I thought I cleared them all. So let's go back. Okay, you did clear all the red X's, so that's good. So what it's looking for here is for you to check this box. Okay, notice in this audit legend, it says checkbox, check required before ordering. All right, so we check that box, go back to our ordering section. Notice that the order preview is defaulted to a check mark. That is purposeful. We did that on purpose because we very much recommend and encourage you to always pull a preview package first. So you look over the docs, especially the loan estimate, to make sure that they are accurate. Because once you order disclosures and not a preview, it goes right out to the bar. Okay, so now I'm going to click Order Documents. And as you see, they're compiling. And you can click on this PDF and take a look at that. Notice the P here, that P stands for preview. And I'm using Chrome, so here is where my PDF is. Okay, so I'm looking through my docs, make sure everything's good. And again, you want to really zero in on that loan estimate. Make sure that's accurate. Okay, once you're finished looking that over, you can X out, come back to this screen. And since I'm satisfied with my doc package, I am going to go back to audit order, and I am going to uncheck this box and then save. Now, if I click order documents again, I get that audit items message, and that's because I have to go back and check this box. So I check that box and I click order documents. And here it's compiling again. And here they are. But we do want to wait for the link though, because that's our assurance that it was emailed. Yep, there it is. So now we can click on this PDF and we see the actual disclosure package that was sent to the borrower. You can save it, you can print it. Okay. If I was the loan officer that just submitted that and I'm sitting here, I could actually click here and then I can go in and put on my login and password and sign my docs as a loan officer right there. Or if I am not the loan officer, I was the processor doing that, the loan officer is actually going to get this email and it's confirming that the docs were electronically sent, and then it has a link within this email for the loan officer to click on. And then here, enter the login and password for IDS. So this is the password that you set up for IDS. And then what comes up is instructions for how you sign the package. And then you click on the first document. I get my instructions again. Okay, so now I can jump. I can either scroll down and click on the signature line if I want to read through the document. I would do it that way. If I just want to sign, I can just keep jumping to the signature lines. Do next document, jump, sign. Well, I'm just jumping, but of course you can always scroll and read the documents as well. Okay, so I finished signing the loan officer documents. I can now print and save, print or save, or both, that package. I'm just going to close out. Okay. So, meanwhile, the borrower got their email. So they can sign their documents by clicking on the link. I'll show you that email. Here it is. Okay, so they would click on their link and they could sign. But let's say that the borrower was in the office and the loan officer just signed their disclosures. Now they're turning their computer over to the borrower for them to sign theirs. So you would do that by clicking on Change Signer, clicking on the borrower's name, letting the borrower then put in the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and the year they were born. They would then agree and continue to the electronic consent. And they would sign their documents. I'm only going to sign a couple here to save some time. There's quite a few. So same exact method that you used when you were signing yours. Okay, so let's change back to the loan officer view. So I'm clicking back to the loan officer. By the way, if when I changed signer before to the borrower, that's also a way for you to capture the link for the borrower. So you could copy and paste and send that link to the borrower if they say they didn't receive the email for some reason. Or if you'd ask them to check their junk, junk or spam folder first in their email system. But if they insist they can't find the email, you can always do that process of changing signer, and then in the top, the window up here, you would copy and paste that link into an email and send that to them. Okay, but I just changed back to the loan officer, and so I'm going to enter my info again. Okay, now I'm back in here as a loan officer. I can see that I signed all my disclosures, and then I can look at the progress of the borrower who has only signed 2 documents thus far. Okay, so we're done here, but very importantly, we need to come back to UHM Go. So you want to absolutely come back to UHM Go. Don't forget to do that, because you've got to complete your submission. So you click Complete Disclosure Submission. Takes a moment here. Remember, unless the loan is submitted, it doesn't go into our work queue to be worked on. So very important you finish that last step. And so here we go. The loan is submitted. It's ready to go. You've sent out your disclosures, and everything is good to go. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions at all, please contact your account executive. And I hope you have a great day.